so I'm assuming that meant we have to have it.
I can take a look at that from our side too.
And then it says written security procedures designed to protect your network, no, our network, from infection and breach. And regular employee training. Is that just on the training on what? Are you
From a security standpoint, and it's really just to acknowledge that on those points of antivirus and those kind of things, usually that's accomplished through one piece of software. It's not that you have to have 10 different pieces of software.
I understand.
Yeah, usually just one suite will kind of tackle that whole mechanism, and it's really just from a standpoint that the employees who are using the software understand it. If you download the Symantec or whatever it is you use or whatever, and you install it, but you set it to never run, then you're not really getting yourself anywhere. So I mean, that's kind of the standpoint that it's getting to. That the employees understand that this is the software, this is how it needs to be set up and configured, and it needs to be maintained.
How many customers do we have interested in doing this?
Maybe 50.
50?
More and more people are signing up for it.
It's encouraged by the utility, isn't it, I think? I think they encourage it because it's simpler in terms of consistent payment. And then I saw like the account reconciliation and the periodic statement.
Okay.
If I understood that correctly, and I may not, it's like if she gets a statement showing what all of our debits were from accounts and anything's wrong, she has to notify you within 30 days. And if she doesn't notify you within 60, then we're just, forget it, not gonna make any change, right?
Well, it's that your ability to reclaim those funds from a loss. If you think if there's some kind of loss on the town's part, then there won't be any legal standing to regain those funds. Not that we couldn't be able to regain them, whether we couldn't talk to the other bank or the customer involved, but there would be no legal standing to compel. The ACH network is designed to where there's automated mechanisms for recovering money when errors happen, because it's, things happen, account numbers are wrong, things come back, so there's mechanisms already in place for something happens and it comes back and getting money back and those kind of things, but there's time limits on all that stuff. So the 60 days is really a network limitation. We can't do anything after 60 days either. So if we can't recover the funds, then obviously you can't either.
And I was a little concerned about the indemnification language, where we're indemnifying the bank against any loss or liability or expense, including attorney fees, for a breach of the agreement, which seemed kind of broad. I mean, and asking for us to indemnify you, that seemed really broad.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know if that's standard because I haven't seen any other agreements like this, but.
Yeah, I couldn't even speak to what, how broad that would be, because I'm not obviously a lawyer, so I couldn't even, comment really on how broad that is. All I can say is what you're saying, about common language is that contract, like I said before, wasn't something that we just, dreamed up. It was something that we got from our ACH network, and this is the language that they recommended to be used.
Well, but everybody's been operating without it for.
That's correct.
How long you've been having debit?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you guys have a question?
I've got a question.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, guys. David, two things. Do you charge the customers anything for this service?
We charge the town for the service. We do not charge the receiving person. That the person you're charging does not ever see a fee. No.
Okay. The reason I ask that is because as I read this thing, and I'm not an attorney either like you, but I did understand Rita's concerns. And I know that, and this is an option which I don't like, but I'll just throw it out there. Western Union offers the service for towns, but they charge, in other words, if a customer wanted to pay his water bill via debit or credit, they charge them like
it's something I don't understand very well either. So it costs us $3 per transaction, right?
No,
No, it's just what
that's what
Tom's,
Western Union charges.
Oh, okay. But you said there is a fee, right?
But, you know, that would be a way out for, to get the town clear, but at the same time, it would cost our customers more, which is, you know, the city, which we don't want to do. I'm just trying to figure a way where the town wasn't on the hook for all these liabilities when we don't really know anything about it. And it's scary as heck, in my opinion, to jump into something like this when, even though it's what the world is doing, and we all know that, but the one that's on the hook is the town. And so to me, it's scary as heck to say, okay, we're gonna offer this. I'd love to say we're gonna offer this, but at the same time, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do anything because we went broke because there was a computer glitch. That scares me.
Is there any limit to the town's liability? Besides our statutory,
Again,
statutory
I
protections?
I
I mean,
wouldn't
does the
do that.
ACH rule have anything embedded that says, you know, if for an error, nobody's on the hook past X amount?
I couldn't answer that. I can tell you that just from a liability standpoint, even though it has, you know, the language in there of the liability, that's not to say that we don't have precautions and we don't have systems in place down the line to catch fraud or to catch issues or problems or those kind of things. And there are limits. There are precautions in place that when we set up the origination and we look at the origination timetables and the dollar amounts and those kind of things, our software does have limits in there. So if the town tried to originate a file for $1 million or something, that would set off flags and that would get stopped down the line. It wouldn't go very far. But just from a standpoint of what your question was, no, I'm not aware of there being any limit.
and yous are needing something signed.
Yeah, we need something signed as soon as possible, and really it just needs to be more than that, just a decision if you want to continue doing ACH or if you don't. I mean that's pretty much how
Right.
it's.
Well, I think it's a service we wanna go ahead and provide for our people in town.
It does cost the town about $460 a year for the ACH service and about $1,300 for credit card processing.